Jason Statham. You ever watch a stunt and think, how does he survive that? Well, buckle up. This is the story of a kid who dove into freezing pools, sold perfume on damp London streets, and somehow turned every bruise into a badge. What happened next changed him from a hungry nobody into the last great hard-edge action star. He wasn't born for privilege. He was born into grit. As a boy, he learned balance, doing handstands, his dad taught him, then found rhythm and refuge on a diving board at 12 late, compared to others. But he kept at it until the water and the silence taught him discipline. Missing the Olympic team by a hair hurt like a freight train. But it didn't break him. Instead, it sharpened something quieter: endurance. London was cold and merciless after the pool. He hustled perfume, watches, small talk for spare change, and trained in the gaps. Push-ups beside a rented bed, shadow boxing in the mirror, climbing back onto the board when the janitor shut the lights. An agent spotted that raw edge and put him in a few fashion shoots. Not fame, but a door. Then a director who wanted truth on screen told him, "You don't have to act, you've lived it." That was the moment his street became his script. Enter the rough, gritty films that made his name. He learned combat and discipline Wing Chun, kickboxing, Krav Maga, and chose to feel every hit. No stunt doubles. That decision gave him a reputation: honest, relentless, real. It also left a ledger of injuries: torn ligaments, a shoulder that still clicks, nights with ice packs instead of sleep. He earned his roles the hard way: blood, training, and absolute commitment. But fame has a shadow. Relationships frayed under flights and long nights. Kelly Brook and Sophie Monk were chapters of warmth and loss. They taught him that love and fame often speak different languages. Then came Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, the calm to his storm. With her, he learned stillness, small mornings, pancakes, the ordinary peace of a family. Kids changed the rhythm. Suddenly, the stakes weren't just movie takes, they were tiny hands and bedtime stories. And yet, tragedy and loss left marks deeper than scars. On set, he watched danger become real. A stunt went wrong, and a young crew member died. The memory stayed. Then, the world lost Paul Walker, a teammate, a friend who made sets feel like family. Those deaths shifted something fundamental. Stunts stopped being adrenaline and became a sacred trust. He began insisting on safety, honoring the people who risked everything to make fiction feel true. There were also moments when mortality brushed his own face. A rehearsal that should have been routine turned near fatal when a truck slipped into the sea. He fought the cold water and climbed out, shaking, alive and changed. After that, he didn't joke about risk. He called stunts what they are: risks paid in blood. The close calls made him younger in ways no one sees, more careful, quieter, and grateful. Still, the box office tells only part of the story. He's had flops and triumphs, the highs that build franchises, and the lows that test friendships. Through it all, he kept training, not to chase the camera, but to stay whole for the people waiting at home. His routine is less show than survival now: swimming, boxing, yoga, and food that keeps the body honest. He doesn't crave the spotlight, he guards his family's peace. What sticks is this: the man on screen, the one who jumps from moving cars, throws 100 fights, survives impossible falls, is carved from a life of losses and comebacks. The steel you see is real, but underneath it's resolve and a stubborn refusal to be finished. He turned the grind into art, and the scars into stories. So, if you watch him next time, remember, every punch you cheer for came from a life that learned to get back up. If that fired you up, smash like. And if you want more honest, no-nonsense life, stories like this, hit subscribe.